evening, everyone. I hope everyone has had a great and productive day. Started out today a little bit cool. Today started out in the 50s, and then it got up to the 60s, and it rained a little bit this morning. And then the sun was out for a little while. It was in the 70s today, so it was really nice today. And tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 80s where I live at, but it's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to rain again. So I had to wind up going to the store and getting me a new raincoat because I don't want to be walking around with my umbrella. So I got me a new raincoat. It's cute. It's a white raincoat. You all will probably see it on some of the videos that I do. But I wanted to get a black raincoat, but I didn't want to spend that much money today, so I just got the white one and left the store with that one. I was satisfied with it. But I want to say, if you are here for the very first time, welcome to my podcast, Sacred Time, and I am Carlita. I'm a proud 51-year-old mother and grandmother, and I want to say welcome. And if you are here returning again to my video, I want to say welcome to you as well. Now, I wanted to say something. Remember how I was talking in a couple of videos ago about, I was sitting up there saying about how I needed to make some changes because I needed to see some things change around for me. Well, I started doing that Saturday, and and I've been doing it every single day since Saturday. And I've noticed that since I've made these changes, just tweaked a few little things, it has made a big difference for what I'm trying to do. And it's amazing how it's just a few little things that you can do if you're trying to see some changes, and what a big difference it'll make. Because what I was doing before, I was getting real frustrated. I was ready to scream because I felt like things weren't changing the way they needed to be changed. So I just made a few adjustments, tweaked a few things, and made some life-changing skills that are helping me a lot. And it's just amazing how when you do that, just a few changes, how much it'll change your perspective and how you look at things and how things are going for you. And it's just amazing. I'm grateful the fact that that I was able to do what I needed to do. But I was gonna make a video yesterday, but I decided not to make a video yesterday because I'm dealing with a family member, one distant cousin who was close with my mother, and who passed away. And I wasn't ready to really come out and talk about it. And today I'm a little bit better. Yesterday, I tried to do a video yesterday, and I just wasn't able to talk about it. And she was around my mother's age, and we kind of knew that she was going to pass, but we didn't expect her to pass this soon. And her and my mother were really close. This particular cousin, her and my mother were really close. My mother is acting like she's holding up, but I know deep down inside, she's probably really not. And I tried to be there to console my mother as much as I could. I can only do but so much, because my mother and her, even though she was my grandmother's first cousin and my mother's second cousin, my mother and her were so close in age that they, I guess you would say, they were kind of like best friends, the way her and my mother were, because they would talk about all type of stuff, talk for hours on the phone. Ever since I was little, my mother and this particular cousin have always been really, really close, where they talk about any and everything. So I know my mother's taking it hard, and I can't fully understand everything that she may be feeling right now, knowing that this particular cousin that was like a best friend to her is gone. My mother cried, and she cried really hard when this cousin's daughter told my mother that she had passed. And my mother always tries to look like she's strong from the outside, but I know probably when she gets quiet time that I know that it's probably heavy dealing with her, because not only did this happen, but last year my grandmother passed, and she's still healing from that, because my grandmother, even though we expected my grandmother to pass last year, it's dealing with somebody passing away. Even though you're prepared, you know that they're going to pass away, even when it doesn't happen suddenly, it's still never an easy thing to deal with. It's always something where it's like you look around and you're like, man, they're gone. You know that in spirit the person is still around, but their actual physical body is no longer with you. And that's a hard thing to deal with. Even with me, even though I know that, in spirit my grandmother's still here, it's a hard thing for me knowing that her and my grandfather are gone, and even my father's parents, they're no longer here either. So somebody passing away, that's never easy, but some people go to grief counseling, which I'm assuming that it helps a lot. I've never gone to grief counseling. When somebody in my family has passed away, I just deal with it the best way I can. I even think about, when it's time for them to pass away, how I will deal with it. Hopefully, that I have a support system around me when they do pass. I have a good friend. Both of her parents have passed, and her support system has been her siblings, because they're all dealing with it together. So, and me in particular, I have no siblings. I'm an only child. So, but I do have my son, and I have my grandson, and I have a lot of cousins and aunts and uncles. I have a big family. And so I guess whenever that time comes, that they'll probably be my support system. But, I think about all that. I don't, I may not talk about it with family, but I definitely think about all of that, and think about, you know, how I'll deal with it when that time comes. But, yeah, that's basically what's been going on for the past. We just found out. Probably. It probably was. Man, I want to say probably 2 days ago. 2 days ago, maybe a day ago. I don't know, but it wasn't that long ago that we found out that this particular cousin passed, and it is something to deal with. We've already tentatively found out her daughter, which is one of my other cousins, has already tentatively given us a date for the funeral, but we don't have any concrete date yet. And so I haven't cried. I guess because I've been so busy, I haven't really, allowed myself to feel, to really deal with it. The fact that I cried when my grandmother. I went to the funeral home with my aunts and my uncles and my mother when my grandmother died. So I saw her body. I saw my grandmother in her casket, and I also at the wake, not the wake, but was it considered the wake? Yeah, it's the wake. We had the wake the day before her actual funeral. So I gave a few words and I cried then. And that's even still hard to deal with, like I said. But this particular cousin, I haven't cried. It hasn't really hit me yet. And I know that it probably will hit me more when I'm around my family and seeing them grieve, and really feeling the fact that she's actually gone in body, even though even though her spirit is still alive. Just knowing that she's no longer here, I know then it'll probably hit me, but right now it hasn't hit me. And like I said, because too, I've been so busy. So but yeah, this video has to do with about dealing with loss, dealing with the loss of a loved one, a friend, and how we deal with it. I guess what I would say is that try to find a support system. Try to be around supportive family. and actually cry. Actually cry for that person and get it all out, because that is someone that was close to you in some way, shape, or form. Even if you didn't spend a lot of time with that person, some way, shape, or form, that person was a part of your life. So on that note, I'm going to say, please like and subscribe. And until my next video, take care and be blessed.